This is an introduction on how to change data in a list. In the previous video, we talked about how to access our data within our list, but it doesn't do much good if you can't change that data. So here we have again n equals 5. That's just going to be the number of elements in a list. Here I have defined an empty list. I have gone through and populated the list here by setting each element in the list with the append function, and I said hello %d and counter. So the value in the list will be hello 0, hello 1, hello 2, depending on the accessor. And then I've gone through here and I've just shown how to get information out of the list. Well, now I want to change that information, and I want to change it potentially conditionally. So let's talk about change information in the list. Let's say that I want to, on every positive counter, every positive index number, every positive accessor, I want to change the value of what's in my list. Well, we have a handy dandy for loop, and you don't have to do this in for loops, but I'm using for loops because this is going to directly relate to things that you have to do in the challenges and in your project. So I'm going to say, again, for counter in range, and here I'm going to do something a little different. 0, len of my list. Sometimes I might not know what the original person told me that I needed in terms of the length of the list. Maybe I was passed in a list as an argument to a function, which can happen by the end of this class. So I need to know how long that list is. There's a function called len, and it gives us the length of the list. And I can show you a real quick, I can talk to you about that a little bit more in depth in a minute. So here, what I want to do is I want to say if modula, let's see, what is it? Modula 2, whoops, 0, oh wait a minute, counter modula 2 is 0, then I want to say my list of counter is going to equal, let's say it's going to equal is even. Okay, so let's see if I got my modula statement right. So what I'm doing here is I'm running through the list again using the length, and I'm using the modula operator to say if counter is divided by 2 does not have a remainder, then I'm going to change that value in list to % is even, and then I'm going to print my list again. So let's see what happens when I run it. See if I made any mistakes. I didn't make any mistakes. So what I got is the previous version. Let me actually take out some of these older print statements. actually what I will simply do. Yeah, sorry about that. So what I have here, whoops, is I have the print statement that shows the empty list. I have the print statement that shows the initial um, filling out population of the list. And then down here I show how to run through the list and get it based on accessor. And then here, the last one shows that for every even number, I changed the value to something else. So what I did was I used the accessor to change the value to something else. Now, it's that simple. All right, it's just an assignment. If you know what value or position in a list you want to change, then you simply go to that position using this syntax, whatever your list variable name is, open square bracket, whatever the accessor is, close square bracket, equal, and then whatever you want that to equal to. That can be a number, that can be a string, that can be a float, that can be the price of a grocery. It doesn't matter. So this is a quick tutorial on how to change information in a list.